Right here? Oh, more over here. Okay. Any more? Is that it? Hi. What you doing? Yeah. Okay, you want that one? Thank you. Any more? Yep. You went around here. This one? Thank you. You're such a good kitty. Thank you. Hey Collective, it's Intuitive Pisces Moon and welcome to the channel. So, this is your third episode of Intuitive Kitty Korner and we are going to read on the cards that Kitty chose for you today. So, based on what has been chosen, we do have some interesting stuff going on here, and as mentioned in the previous two readings, I did go ahead and get a Kitty Tarot deck that I'm just going to use for her. So it's just specifically her deck. So let's take a look at what we have here. So we do have this card, which is Aging Well. And it says, aging is not a disease. We should be able to grow old and be healthy. Interesting card to come out as a garbage truck drives past there. Because there's so much going on in the collective energy right now around that, okay? So I don't know how many of you like kind of fall into the trap of that, whereas you know, these anti-aging creams and you must keep up with appearances and stuff like that. I know plenty of people, doesn't have to be women, it could be anybody, that are just trying to age gracefully. People that I know used to care about dyeing their hair, about whatever it was, and now they're just letting the gray hair come out. People who used to wear makeup and stuff like that, who are now just being au naturel, you know? And so it feels like a lot of us are having that understanding now, right? Because if you really think about it, what are you dressing up for? Who are you dressing up for? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you really? Are you doing it for someone else? Are you doing it to keep up appearances with society? Like to be quote unquote presentable? What's to say that you getting up in the morning and not putting makeup on is still presentable? You know? So I feel like this is us reassessing our, we're going to call it beauty standards, but also how we view ourselves, right? Like I stopped wearing makeup quite some time ago, and a lot of the reason, I'm gonna give you the reason, was because I have just sensitive skin, sensitive eyes. Like I was wearing mascara and my eyes were burning to the point where I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And then I was wearing contacts and those started irritating my eyes, so I just started wearing glasses every day. There's just so many things that happened for me personally where I'm like, this is not worth it. Another garbage truck. That's 3 garbage trucks that have just driven down my street. So it's literally asking you to ask yourself, what is acceptable? Is something acceptable because society says it's acceptable? Or are you playing along with whatever it is? Again, these anti-aging creams, like so many beauty products out there, are only specifically made to make you feel like whatever you have going on is not good enough and that you need something supplemental to make you good enough, right? Makeup, creams, hair dyes, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that there's more and more people out there now that are just going along with, hey, this is what I look like in the morning. It's acceptable. It's just fine. Another garbage truck. It kind of feels like it was 2 that went down the street, then turned around and came back, I don't know. But anyways, with this aging well, I want you to assess your habits. Why do you do the things you do? Think about it. Does it have to do with something that you truly believe you need to be doing within yourself, or that you have been made to feel that this is the way that it needs to be in order to be quote unquote accepted or acceptable? You know, I used to be there, so I'm with you on that. You know, I used to feel like, oh my God, if I leave the house and I don't have makeup on, I look dead to the world. You know, maybe some of you have bags under your eyes or whatever it is. Like, literally, they make you feel like you are just not acceptable the way you are. So let's get into the next card. We do have the law of attraction. So it says, if you feel strongly about something, the universe will give you more of that. Now, I feel like there's two buckets here of individuals. Some of us are negative and are manifesting more negativity into our life. And so the message here with that card is just to be careful of that. Hi, Kitty. Kitty joined us in the reading today. Love when that happens. And then there's the other bucket of us that are starting to learn that if I can focus on the things I do want, the positive stuff, then I also do attract that as well. So very much focus on your thoughts, because your thoughts manifest everything. All right, not much else to say about that. You know, just keep that in mind. With this last card here, we have, you are an important person. Do you feel like you are no one special and don't really matter? I feel that, again, kind of going along with this aging well, it's some of us are finding a place in this world. And if you haven't yet, that's okay, because you're still working on it. But it feels like so many of us are like, I deserve to take up space. I deserve to shine my light and to be who I am. So I love that, because again, this aging well thing, it's like I deserve to just wake up and be okay with who I am today. I don't have to put on special clothes or face creams or makeups or whatever it is you do for your daily stuff, right? You can just go out and be who you are and be accepted that way. And if you haven't been in the past, it's because you've been made to feel that you're not an important person. And going back to this law of attraction, you know, if you perpetuate that cycle, more of that will show up. So, interesting message today. That's what we're going to start with. Let's get into the tarot. So we have the Five of Swords, we have the Fool card, the King of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Emperor. So, beautiful energy to start with. Bottom of the deck, we do have the Two of Cups. Okay. So, let's look at what we have going on here. The Five of Swords is about, again, that mental chatter, I call it, right? Mental conflict. Fighting with oneself internally, all right? And that could honestly go with any of these cards above. So you can choose to say, oh no, I'm getting old, I don't look good anymore, you know, society wants us to be 20 something, or otherwise we're over the hill and we don't matter anymore. You know, that goes along with all of this. So what you put in your mind is what manifests. What you believe is true. So you don't believe that you are nobody important? You're right. And I'm not saying that to perpetuate a cycle. I'm just saying that whatever you believe is what manifests. So you are correct. If you believe you can have it all and that you are a beautiful individual and that you are an important person, you're right. But you've got to change that mindset on how you view aging, how you attract things, and how important you are in this world. And feel that you can take up space while you're here. We have the Fool card, which leads me to believe that we are leaving this behind. So there's so much of what's going on here that is honestly processing something differently. We're starting over because it's almost like we have to leave behind these messages that have been instilled in us from society, from our old relationships, from our familial relationships, our friendships, that have led you to believe that we can't age well, that we can't attract good things into our life, and that maybe we're not an important person. What's up, kitty? All right, then we move on to the King of Pentacles. I love this because this is mastering material things, okay? Masculine energy, but also in the realm of material things. So money, wealth, that sort of thing. Things that we can manifest, right? The law of attraction. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. And so this is about working together. This could be collaboration, right? There could be somebody entering your life, or you're becoming that somebody that is manifesting with a group of individuals. And you've all got similar mindsets where you all believe that this can happen, right? Then we have the Queen of Wands over here. This is feminine energy now, fire sign. Over here, earth sign. But the thing is this is also about being a leader. Okay? Kings, queens, and then the emperor. These are about being leaders. The leaders of your life. The leaders of something. Being passionate about being a leader. Okay? So there's something here where, again, maybe there's this interesting dynamic of a king of earthly matters and a queen of passionate things becoming, together. We do have the Two of Cups at the bottom. But then we have the Emperor here. And this is about being the authority of your life. What I see this as is you taking that throne of your own life, right? You are an important person. So you're not just the fool, right? If you think about courts and kingdoms, that sort of thing, you've got a king and a queen. They sit on the throne. They're an important person. And you know that because they're typically wearing a crown, right? These three individuals have crowns on their head. The fool is typically like the jester, the entertainer. That's why he's at the 0 card, because he's kind of, doesn't think he's an important person. Or she. The gender doesn't matter here. But what this feels like is that you're going to go from being the fool to being the king, queen, or emperor of your own life. Because you know that you are better suited for some kind of role than just being the fool, right? And again, that's where this Five of Swords comes in, because it feels like this is a mindset situation. Has someone led you to believe somewhere that you're just a fool? Like that's all you're ever going to be capable of doing? Because I guarantee many of us have heard that. Like, you're never going to amount to anything. Oh, you can't do that line of work because that doesn't make money. Or you can't do that because it's never been done before. So whatever it is that you're passionate about, keep doing that, because there's others out there that are also passionate about that same thing and want to work with other individuals that are passionate about similar things. Now with the Two of Cups at the bottom here, this could also involve a equally yoked partnership. It does not the wind's coming in and my wind chimes are going. It does not have to be romantic, but it could be. I love that. It could also be a very beautiful friendship, like a platonic soulmate, right? Someone that you look at and you've got similar stuff going on. You're pouring into each other. You're loving each other, even if it is not romantic. It could be business partnership. It could just be a really good friendship, that sort of thing. So there's something here in the underlying energy of all of this that's kind of driving you forward. All right. So from here, where do we go from here? We're going to take a look at some more cards and see if we can get into more messages. All right. Let's see what else we have going on here. Tell me more for the collective, please. What else do they need to know about this message? We have a gift. Okay, so we may be receiving a gift, and I'm feeling like this gift, again, monetary value of the gift, but also it might be the gift of mental clarity. Maybe the gift of knowing that it's okay to start over. We have courthouse. Okay, so maybe it involves something with legal matters, something that's going to be decided in your favor. What's up? What's up? She is so funny. Okay. Now, this card is interesting too, because I do like to look at this as well with the Five of Swords, is about our mindset. So when you look at this card, it is sort of like a yin-yang card, where you've got a dark, stormy part, but then you've also got this beautiful light part. So you can choose to focus on the negatives, the dark, stormy part, or you can choose to focus on the bright, clear sky. Okay? It's like whatever you think is right, like we were saying over here, right? If you believe that it's dark and stormy in your world, then you're right. But if you believe that it's bright and sunny and shiny and positive, then you are also right. So I'm also getting with this too that you may have just overcome some sort of dark, stormy aspect of your life, and now like the clouds are clearing. Okay, again, could have had to do with legal matters. Maybe you're receiving something from some sort of settlement. Okay, we have the Tree of Life. I love that. And Message of Concern. So with the Tree of Life, this always reminds me, we do have the clover at the bottom, so this is good luck here. Like luck favors you. With the Tree of Life, this always reminds me of the fact that we are all on different parts of our journey, okay? So you may be friends with somebody who is still kind of stuck in this stormy energy. And maybe you are breaking out of that and you're trying to move forward. And maybe you find it difficult because this is a really good friend of yours. Right? Maybe they're always talking to you about their concerns. But you're like, no, I'm not trying to live in this stormy energy. Like what this is giving me is like a friend group that maybe you used to sit around and just talk crap about everybody. Right? Like, oh my God, did you hear about the Joneses over there and like what they just got involved in? And oh my gosh. And so you would meet once a week or however often, and that's just what you would do, and that was fun for you. But there's something that changed in your energy. Again, you chose not to keep that energy. You're like, yeah, I can't do that anymore. I see what it's doing and I don't love it. Okay? So you're like, you know what? I'm not going to meet this week. And then your friends might be like, but wait a minute, we got like some juicy tea to spill, you know, come on. And you're like, yeah, I got something else to do that day, I can't. And then maybe you skip a week or two or however many, and then you start to realize how much better you feel. I'm getting that you're feeling this transition of this storminess to this bright horizon energy, right? It's like you can see where you can go from here when you don't engage in these behaviors. It does not have to be that, but that was just an example that came to me in that moment. And again, You may feel even somewhat guilty when you're on this journey here, and let's just say you're higher up on the tree or whatever, and you've got to leave somebody behind, and it's like, you know what? It be that way sometimes. It truly is. And it can be one of the hardest things to have to do. But you've got to do also what's best for yourself. Remember, you're the authority of your life. You're not stuck. You're not trapped. You can absolutely move forward and do something that it betters you and your situation. Even if it's not good for the group, right? Like there's that saying, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you step out of it, you're setting an example for everybody else, and then they will see how much better you're doing. Now, they may be resentful and stuff like that. You know, that's a whole other can of worms. But also, you're setting that example for, hey, guess what? I choose to think differently. I choose to do differently. I choose to be different. And that's okay. So it's like if your choice is to be alone and to be your authentic self and to feel good about yourself, your life, your situation, your circumstances, right? Or to be in this pity party that all your friends do and talk, you know, smack about the neighbors and their life situations and stuff like that. It's like, I think I'd rather be alone because I like my own energy. Queen of Wands absolutely adores her own energy. She exudes confidence. She exudes strength, courage, passion. Okay? Oozes it. It's beautiful energy. She is totally fine being alone. All right? It's also a reminder to go after what you're passionate about, because not everybody feels that they can do that. You know, some people are like, oh, I'm at this job. I have to have it because it pays the bills or whatever's going on with it, you know? So there's just situations where people just settle. They settle into a life and they feel that that's all they can ever get, and they just settle. But you, my friend, don't have to settle. You already know what you're here to do, and your thoughts transform your life. The two major arcana on the table here are the Emperor and the Fool. You absolutely have control over your own life. You could take that first step and get out of there and be the authority of your life. There it is. All right, so we're going to get some messages from Spirit for you, and then I'll get you an angel number. What messages do you have for the collective today, please? All right. We have slow down and take your time. There is no need to rush everything. You are already doing your part. Trust that what belongs in your life is already making its way towards you in divine timing. Okay? And that's also, I'm going to go back to the group, right? The like chatter group or whatever, the gossipy queens. We are just a society of instant gratification. And so just because something has not come to you in the time frame that you believe that it should have come to you does not mean it will never come. Some things take time. I always look at it as like, you know, up in the universe, we've got important players and they're playing like a board game, right? And they're like, let's rearrange this person, put them over here, put this up here. And then, you know, once they say, okay, plan's in place, then things in the 3-dimensional start to move. But it takes time. All right, what else do we have, please, for the collective? Thank you. Don't lose sight of this truth. You came here to evolve and grow. It is necessary to experience the difficult times. That is when you will grow the most. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Be proud of your journey. Love it. When there are questions that you need assistance with, go inward. Sit with yourself, meditate on the question, ask for our help also, then trust your intuition, as most often the answer and guidance will be delivered to you intuitively. We are with you always. All right. You are not moving too slowly. See, we have slow down here twice. Drop the self-induced pressure. You are at the sweet spot between taking care of yourself and still making advancements on your goals. On this path, there is no such thing as being behind. Smile, breathe, and carry on. So that's taken me back to this Tree of Life card, because there are so many people, again, that instant gratification where they're comparing themselves to someone else. They're comparing their life, their journey to someone else. And it's like, the thing is we can't compare. Remember that comparison is the thief of joy. So you're not behind. You're not moving too slow. Just keep going. You're doing just fine. All right, let's get you an angel number. Thank you. We have 7777, perseverance. This is perspective shift, absolutely, with the 5 of swords, reflection, resilience, inner wisdom, enlightenment, and determination. Now is the time to shift your perspective on the challenges that currently dominate your life. To achieve success, continue on your path with determination and tap into your inner wisdom, and you will intuitively know the right next step to take. There it is. It's a lot about trusting your path, trusting your intuition. Look at this. At the bottom of the deck, we have new beginnings. So it's like, keep going, right? There's definitely some stuff on the horizon for you, and it's not going to happen by thinking negatively about your situation. Like, oh, it didn't happen yet, so it's never going to happen. Like, I'm hearing kind of that from some of you. What's up, Kitty? You came back again? Yeah? You're telling them it's going to be okay? Yeah. I would pick her up and show you, but she don't like to be picked up. Reminds me a lot of me. It's like, nope, don't you pick me up. The only time I've ever been able to pick her up is if I catch her off guard, and then she immediately looks at me like, put me down. So yeah, it's a funny situation with her. All right, everybody. So this has been your message, and Kitty thanks you as well for joining us today. She's sitting right underneath the desk while I'm doing my reading here. So I just want to remind you that you are divinely favored, divinely guided, highly protected, loved, and spiritually aware. All right? That is not something that everyone can say. If you're here, you got this. You're reading this for a reason, okay? I wish you all a lifetime of happiness, health, wealth, abundance, and so much love. So much love. We wish you so much love. There she goes. Thank you all so much for joining me today. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, everyone, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.